Hello, you're listening to Spare Notes. My name is Jonah Evans. I talk to artists about the things that push and pull at them in the act of creating and or performing. Every person is unique, and through art, common grounds for expression and understanding of this crazy, crazy, crazy world can be found. An ongoing question I have is, where does this uniqueness of a person's art collide with common understanding, kind of like where we connect with their music? This is Spare Notes. This is a segment called 3 Questions, where I ask an artist 3 questions. One question is specifically about their latest project, and the other 2 are generally connected to their artistry overall. In this episode, I spoke with Fritz Ortman of local Weatherman, a Brooklyn-based band. Their new EP, Right One, was released on January 16th by Karol Records. Some things that Fritz and I talk about in the interview include the magic of DIY shows, the production of this new EP, The Right One, and making decisions about vocals, because there's always many decisions to make. See you on the other side. Hi, Fritz. How's it going?
Hey, Jonah.
Tell me about one of the best live shows you've ever been to and how seeing other bands play live informs your own performances.
I think one of the first, truly amazing shows that I went to was, when I was probably 15, I saw, it was, Tiger's Jaw and Pianos Become the Teeth. And Nona, which was the person from that band, is now in that band, 8. It was a big, Philly show. And that was at First Unitarian Church. And that was, the first show that I went to in my life where there was, a mosh pit and people crowd surfing. And I remember, my dad took me there. So it was, me up front and my dad, hanging out in the back with the merch guys. I just was, having that energy on stage, seeing these bands that I liked playing and having people jump off the stage and mosh was really inspirational for me. I don't know if our music makes people do that. I guess I would like for that to happen.
Sure.
And that's maybe why we've gone in a faster direction as time has gone on. But that was a really special show for me. And I think especially growing up, having those kind of first experiences going to DIY shows and seeing that there was a world outside of the radio or kind of older rock music that I liked, and seeing that there was still something so awesome and so special going on really had an impact on me, and also made me want to be a part of DIY music in general and have that and follow that same ethos.
Yeah. Your new EP, One, is packed with energy and it's filled with this continuous melodic tension. I feel like there is always a chorus or a bridge right around the corner, even when it's not. It's a good, concentrated feeling. What do you think some differences are in songwriting and production from the Right One EP, which feels a bit closer to power pop, and the self-titled album that came out in 2023?
Yeah, I think one of the things that changed was when we started recording the 2023 album. First of all, it started out with Ian Farmer and Zach Robbins, who helped produce that, and they played bass and guitar. But it was them as the rhythm section, and then me laying down the guitars, and then Ford, who's our guitarist, played some of his parts. But that felt like more of a studio thing, and then we were playing those songs live. And when we were working on new material, I feel like the songs that people responded to the most were a little bit faster and a little bit more aggressive. And I saw that response when we would play shows, and I wanted to have more songs that felt really fun to play live and feel like we got a cool response from the crowd. And I think that part of that comes from this recording is all 4 of us together for the first time. So we had time to work out the kinks of songs live and see what was working. And I think that comes out in the recording. So I think that would be the biggest difference. And production-wise, we recorded with Ian and Zach again, which is always just an amazing experience, and we love recording with them. And then for most of the songs, we ended up recording a couple of additional tracks, and we did the vocals later on, like here in New York. And our friend Sean McKillop mixed all the songs besides The Hole. Zach mixed that one. And it was really fun for me to have like even more of an impact on certain production decisions, like certain vocal effects or certain ways that we wanted like a reverb to trail off or like a delay to go off. It was really fun to be like super involved in that process, which was different than we did things last time. Yeah.
That's cool. So it was like a lot more involved, and there's a lot of interplay between band members and like
Yeah.
mixing and production. Everyone was having a conversation musically.
Yeah, exactly. And we also, on this one, we had unlimited time to work on it. The last record, I think I booked the release show before it was done being mixed. So
Well,
I gotta hand it to Zach and Ian for mixing and mastering it so quickly and responding to my emails because set a deadline before everything was done. And I'm happy we did that because that was a really fun show. But on this one, we took our time a lot more and we were able to have like months of different drafts of things. So it was cool. Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, because I can feel the punchiness of this EP. It's so much energy, like in it, like concentrated.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
For this question, I want to name a few bands that have been around for a long while that you are a fan of, and me too, such as Jimmy Eat World, Third Eye Blind, and Mineral. I also want to mention how you've been influenced by your father's taste growing up with bands like Minor Threat and Black Flag. All those bands have different styles of singing and some multiple vocalists. How do you make decisions for yourself, how to sing on this EP, and what is the significance in having multiple lead vocalists on different tracks?
Yeah, I think growing up, I loved all those bands and still love those bands. I still love Minor Threat and Black Flag. And I think with the last recording, I was going into a studio to maybe sing some of those things for the first time or was finishing up lyrics right before we went in. And this time, I feel like I was able to work out my voice a little bit better and have a better understanding of what I was capable of. And I think that playing those songs live really gave me a better idea of how things should sound, how things felt good to me when I was singing them. Yeah, just playing live a lot helped with how I was going to deliver the vocals. In terms of having different singers on it, so Ford, our guitar player, sings on Wang, and he wrote that song. And then that just came about from Ford wrote a song and brought it to the table and we recorded it. I think at some point we were joking around and I was saying like, dude, I want to be like I was saying like, I want to be like a Brian Wilson guy. Like I could just like record and then I could send the band out to do it. And then there was another conversation where I was like, we're joking around about like, what would I do if I was just singing and didn't have a guitar? And we were kind of like, I don't think that would be that cool for us. Cool when other people do it. I think I would be like confused about what to do. But so Ford wrote that song and he was, now you can just play guitar on this one. You don't have to sing. And it was really awesome getting to look at that song from a different perspective and being able to think about it from the perspective of like just a guitar player and as a songwriter and as like someone who was helping that song reach its full potential, as I like tried to do with all of our songs. But it was cool to have more of an outside perspective on that one. And Ford did a great job singing it. And we also, I mean, we have a bunch of other vocalists on the songs too. Our friend Grace Bennett from the band Sub T and also her bandmate Jade Alcantara play or sing on The Hole, and then Grace sings on Wang and a little bit on Right One, and our friend Kirsten sings on Wang and Right One, I guess, too. And I always just thought it was cool when people would incorporate like other vocalists into their music, and it's always cool to have a couple different sounds going into a big kind of cool epic sounding vocal part. And for me, like vocal harmonies are like one of my favorite things about music, and I feel like that can take things to such a different level. So it was a lot of fun to, especially on The Hole and Wang and Right One, to have all these different voices and have everyone contributing almost in this like Beach Boys way. If you mute the rest of the track, especially on The Hole, there's like a 4-part harmony going on. And that's like when we're recording stuff, that's like my favorite thing to see come to fruition. I think that's like the coolest sounding thing.